Welcome, Age of Vintage Society. Dreamy Tab Hunter stands out in film history as one of the hottest teen idols of the 1950s. Blonde, tanned, coupled with surfer boy good looks, he was artificially groomed and named the Psy Guy by Hollywood. He had managed to continue his career long after his golden boy era was over. Women chased him, but he was not interested in the least. The golden boy played for the other team. Why Tab Hunter slept with men secretly. Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Age of Vintage channel. It was his blonde hair, chiseled jaw, deep eyes and surfer good looks that made Tab Hunter probably the most attractive man in all of Hollywood. A total heartthrob of his time, Tab was adored by all, some with a little more ferocity than others. He was America's boy next door, and his blinding smile had everyone swooning, and nothing, it seemed, could tarnish his stellar career. It was not until his private life became a very big scandal that Tab was forced into the spotlight. Hollywood's ultimate golden boy apparently had secrets that were revealed, and people did not like them one bit. He first ever appeared on screen at the age of 19 in the movie Island of Desires with Linda Darnell, and from then onwards the audience could not have enough of him. Linda Darnell was an extraordinary woman. The first thing she said to me in our screen test, I was very nervous and she told me to relax and that she was good luck for newcomers. Tab starred with Hollywood's leading women all of his life. Rita Hayworth is one of the most notable women he worked with. His movies were almost always, a few flops of course are always inevitable, Operation Bikini, Damn Yankees and That Kind of Woman are a few of the major hits. Hunter made music, impressed the audience with his good looks and was the life of the party. However, there was a big secret that Hollywood was yet to unveil. Very public dates with the divas of the industry were planned. Beauties like Debbie Reynolds and Natalie Wood were seen hanging off the blonde hunk's arms. It was efficient enough to not draw attention to his intimate relationship with the male champion figure skater Ronnie Robertson. He was greatly saddened about how people reacted to his intimate life. I felt that if you were with a man, you were sinning, but if you were with a woman, you'd be lying, he said. He seriously considered marrying a co-star to ward off the rumours. They had, of course, taken a large toll on the golden boy. His career and mental health both seemed to be slipping away. But was an intimate preference all a man was worth? That too, someone as amazing as an actor as Tab himself. It is the way of the world to not like someone that is different and consider them as one of your own. Maybe it is right, maybe it is wrong. I was just sick of Hollywood, sick of the media, and I'd lost faith in everything, he said. Not being able to control his own life was frustrating, and soon Tab took things into his own hands. Hunter was born Arthur Kelm on 11th of July 1931 in Manhattan, New York, to Gertrude and Charles Kelm. His father was Jewish and his mother was a Germanic Catholic immigrant from Hamburg. He had an older brother called Walter. Hunter's father was reportedly an abusive man, and within a few years of his life his parents divorced. He was raised in California and lived with his brother, mother and maternal grandparents, John, Henry and Ida Gilleen, living in San Francisco, Long Beach and Los Angeles. His mother resumed her maiden name, Gilleen, and changed her son's surnames as well. As a teenager, Arthur Gilleen, as he was known then, was a figure skater, competing in both singles and pairs. Hunter was sent to a Catholic school by his religious mother. He joined the United States Coast Guard aged 15, lying about his age, to enlist. While in the Coast Guard he gained the nickname Hollywood for his penchant for watching movies rather than going to bars while on liberty. When his age was discovered, he was discharged by the Coast Guard. He met actor Dick Clayton socially. Clayton suggested that Arthur should become an actor. Clayton introduced Hunter to agent Henry Wilson, who specialized in pretty boys such as Guy Madison and Robert Wagner, and it was Wilson who named him Tab Hunter. They gave me a new name. They said, "We've got to tab you something," and I showed Hunters and Jumpers horses, because horses are my life and I love horses, so it became Tab Hunter as opposed to Jab Jumper. Hunter's first film role was a minor part in a film noir, The Lawless. He was friends with the main actor Paul Guilfoyle, who had suggested him to director Stuart Heisler, who was looking for a nobody to play the lead in Island of Desires opposite Linda Darnell. The film, essentially a two-hander between Hunter and Darnell, was a huge hit. Hunter supported George Montgomery in Gunbelt, a western produced by Edward Small. Small used him again for a war film, The Steel Lady, supporting Rod Cameron, and as the lead in an adventure tale, Return to Treasure Island. He began acting on stage, appearing in the production of Our Town, and was offered a contract by Warner Brothers. One of Hunter's first films for the Warners was The Sea Chase, supporting John Wayne and Lana Turner, two of the greatest movie stars of the era. It was a big hit, but Hunter's part was relatively small. Rushes was seen by William A. Wellman, who cast Hunter to play the younger brother of Robert Mitchum in Track of the Cat, which was a solid hit, and Hunter gained more popularity. His breakthrough role came when he was cast as the young Marine Danny in 1955's World War II drama Battle Cry. His character has an affair with an older woman, but ends up marrying the girl next door. It was based on a bestseller by Leon Uris and became Warner Brothers' largest grossing film of the year, cementing Hunter's position as one of Hollywood's top young romantic leads. He was in the 3rd and 10th most popular films of the year. In September 1955, the tabloid magazine Confidential reported Hunter's 1950 arrest for disorderly behaviour. The innuendo-based article, and a second one focusing on Rory Calhoun's prison record, were the result of a deal Henry Wilson had brokered with the Scandal Rag in exchange for not revealing his more prominent client, Rock Hudson's sexual orientation, to the public. "There was a lot written about my sexuality, and the press was pretty darn cruel," Tab said. Not only did this have no effect on Hunter's career, a few months later he was named the most promising new personality in a nationwide poll. In 1956 he received 62,000 Valentines. Hunter, James Dean and Natalie Wood were the last actors to be placed under an exclusive studio contract at Warner Brothers. Warner's decided to promote him to a star status, teaming him with Natalie Wood in 2 films, a western and a service comedy. These films proved to be huge hits among the crowds, and Warner's planned a 3rd picture, but it was rejected by Hunter. He was Warner Brothers' most popular star from 55 to 59. Hunter received strong critical acclaim for a performance he gave on TV in Forbidden Area, the debut show of Playhouse 90, written by Rod Sterling. He had a 1957 hit record with the song Young Love, which was number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 6 weeks, and became one of the larger hits of the rock and roll era. It sold over 1 million copies and was awarded a gold disc by the RIAA. He had another hit single, 99 Ways, which peaked at number 11 in the United States and number 5 in the United Kingdom. His success prompted Jack L. Warner to enforce the actor's contract with Warner Brothers Studio by banning Dot Records, the label for which Hunter had recorded the single, from releasing a follow-up album he had recorded for them. Jack established Warner Brothers Records specifically for Hunter. Hunter's acting career was also at its zenith. William Wellman used him again in a war film, Lafayette Escadrille. Columbia Pictures borrowed him for a western, Gunman's Wall, a film which Hunter considered his favourite. Hunter starred in 1958 musical Damn Yankees, in which he played Joe Hardy of DC's American League Baseball Club. The film had originally been a Broadway show, but Hunter was the only one who had appeared in the film but not the original cast, because director George Abbott was only interested in recreating the stage version word for word. In 1959 he starred in films with Rita Hayworth and Gary Cooper. Soon Hunter agreed to do a weekly television sitcom, The Tab Hunter Show. The show had moderate ratings and lasted only for a season, but Hunter was soon given a starring role with Debbie Reynolds as her love interest in The Pleasure of His Company. He was also in a war movie for American International Pictures, Operation Bikini. In 1964, he starred on Broadway opposite Tallulah Bankhead in Tennessee Williams's The Milk Train Doesn't Stop Here Anymore. Ride the Wild Surf was a surf film for Columbia Studios, followed by a movie in Britain called Troubled Waters. He stayed in England to make another picture for AIP called War of Gods of the Deep. Back in Hollywood, he had a supporting role in The Loved One and Birds Do It. He made a film with Richard Rush, The Fickle Finger of Fate. For a short time in the 1960s, after several seasons of starring in summer stock and dinner theatre in shows such as Bye Bye Birdie, The Tender Trap, Under the Yum Yum Tree, and West Side Story, with some of the New York cast, Hunter settled in the south of France, where he acted in spaghetti westerns, for instance The Last Chance. Hunter gained the lead role in Sweet Kill, the first movie from director Curtis Hanson. He won a co-starring role in successful films The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean with Paul Newman. He had small roles in Wonton Ton, The Dog Who Saved Hollywood, and Katie, Portrait of a Centerfold. Hunter's career was revived in the 1980s when he starred opposite actor Divine in John Waters' Polyester and Paul Bartel's Lust in the Dust. He played Mr. Stewart, the substitute teacher in Grease 2, who sang Reproduction. Hunter had a major role in the 1988 film Cameron's Closet. He also wrote the story for and starred in his last film Dark Horse, an award-winning 2015 documentary about his life. Tab Hunter Confidential was directed by Jeffrey Schwartz and produced by Hunter's husband Alan Glazer. It became New York Times' best-selling, as it did the paperback edition in 2007. The book was nominated for several writing awards. It re-entered the New York Times bestseller list for a third time in 2015 during the release of the documentary film. In the book, Hunter acknowledged his homosexuality, confirming rumours that had circulated since the height of his fame. According to William Hamilton of New York Times, detailed reports about Hunter's alleged romances with close friends Debbie Reynolds and Natalie Wood were strictly the fodder of studio publicity departments. As Wood and Hunter embarked on a well-publicised but fictitious romance, promoting his apparent heterosexuality while promoting their films, insiders developed their own headline for the item: Natalie Wood and Tab wouldn't. During Hollywood's studio era, Hunter said, "Life was difficult for me because I was living two lives at the same time, a private life of my own which I never discussed, never talked about to anyone, and then my Hollywood life, which was just trying to learn my craft and succeed." About his sexuality, Tab said, "The word homosexual was not even around in those days, and if anyone ever confronted me with it, I'd just kind of freak out. I was in total denial. I was just not comfortable in that Hollywood scene, other than the work process." Moviegoers wanted to hold in their hearts The Boy Next Door, The Marine, Cowboy, and The Swoon-Bait Sweetheart. Hunter had a long-term relationship with actor Anthony Perkins and champion figure skater Ronnie Robertson, as mentioned before. He settled down with Alan Glazer, a film producer, and the couple was happily married for 35 years. He was raised in his mother's Catholic faith, which he practiced for most of his life. He has a star for contributions to the music and film industry on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 632 Hollywood Boulevard. In 2007, a Golden Palm Star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars was dedicated to him. No matter what scandals he was involved in or whatever rumours circulated about his private life, Tab Hunter will always have a special place in people's hearts for being Hollywood's heartthrob. Whether it was his surfer good looks or his charming personality or his gentlemanly ways, Tab Hunter was an all-American movie star and our favourite boy next door. Tab died at the age of 86 on 8th of July 2018 in Santa Barbara, California at Cottage Hospital. His death was confirmed by husband Alan Glazer, who said the cause of death was cardiac arrest after a blood clot moved from Hunter's leg to his lung. His funeral was held in a private ceremony near his home in Montecito, California. He left behind a legacy for all the upcoming sweethearts and golden boys, and for people who were different. He was a warm soul who lived his life authentically at a time when very few did. There was more to the damn Yankee style than just merely good looks. There was this bright and warm personality, a loving human who cared about his co-stars and was soft-hearted. I want people to know what a good man he was. It was more important that Tab was known for being a good human being. That was more important to him than being an actor and a recording artist. He didn't place importance on his career or his celebrity, said Alan Glazer. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to support my work, please visit my Patreon page. But Tab Hunter wasn't the only actor with a lot of rumours circulating around his sexual orientation. How Marlon Brando played with James Dean for his own amusement. Watch this video and find out.